Hey everyone, my name is Misero. I'm an independent artist and producer with close to 15 million streams, I think. And I did a good portion of those myself. So I would like to think that I have, some good knowledge about playlist marketing and music marketing in general. And this is what this video is all about. So today we're going over one platform that, you can utilize to determine if a playlist you would like to submit music to is actually active or not. So let's jump into it. Welcome to Is It a Good Playlist? Now, that is such a good name. You can use Is It a Good Playlist to determine if a playlist is actually good. It has a ton of features, so let's jump into it. I already logged in. The domain is isitagoodplaylist.com. And let's go to analysis. And let's just pick a playlist. Let's go to my good friend Piecewise. Lovely dude. I love him dearly, and he has one of the best playlists out there, Morning Chill. These are his tracks. Go check them out if you want to. Where am I? That's our collaboration. So check that out if you want to, but today is all about playlists, so let's visit his Morning Chill playlist. Let's grab the link, put it in there, and analyze. Now, that was quick. When you do that for the first time, it might take like a few minutes. We do have some interesting tabs right here. We have general info, we have audio analysis, then we have the listeners tab, which we will get into because that is super interesting. And let's start with the general info. So first of all, you have the playlist description, pretty straightforward. You have the top genres of the tracks inside that playlist. And that is, pretty interesting because that's actually data from the Spotify API, because you can't actually choose Covertronica as your, primary genre, although Spotify has it in their API. So, they actually have Stutterhouse too by now. That's pretty neat. Then you have the contact info. I haven't tried this yet, but he does have his Instagram in here. And this one is SubmitHub. And this one obviously is Grover. Then you have the last update. He seems to have updated it today. Whoever got on the playlist, congratulations, very strong playlist. And then you have the followers metric. Now, this is some very healthy growth right here. I know, in fact, that he just reached 100,000 followers. So once more, congratulations on that, my friend. And, that is what you want this to look like. If it would have like weird jumps, then it would be like an indicator that the playlist is, has botted followers or something. Sometimes it is due to aggressive ads, but even that is, more steady in growth most of the times. Then you have the track popularity, because Spotify actually assigns a track popularity to every track. Now, in this case, it's very interesting because the popularity is pretty high. Now, the question is, was the track popularity high before the tracks got on the playlist? Or, did the track popularity rise for most of the tracks because the playlist is so strong? Then you have the track age. In most of the cases, you wouldn't pay too much attention to that. However, there are some cases, because some playlists just add tracks that are, older than a year, or, some throwback playlists. And other playlists just want, some release radar style playlist. Just might want to have like releases from this month. So that comes in handy too. Now you have the audio analysis, and everything you can see here is also data from the Spotify API. So Spotify assigns different metrics to different tracks, assigns every track with the danceability, energy, a speechiness. I don't really know what this is. I think it's, is it a lot of lyrics or not? Instrumentalness, stuff like this. I have to say though, sometimes this is not correct. When I did, individual analysis on individual tracks through the API directly, I sometimes got weird, results for instrumental tracks having a lot of speechiness, or, not enough instrumentalness, or sad tracks having a lot of danceability. Of course, this could be the case, but in some cases I tried it, it was just, completely off. You can look at that all day. It's pretty interesting, especially when you compare it to your tracks. It can give you some valuable insights. One thing that is very important is the tempo. Now, for example, if you work in, let's say, techno music, different subgenres of techno have very different BPMs. So if you have a track you want to submit to a playlist and it's just too fast, and you check the tempo or the average tempo of the playlist and it's just way slower than your track, you don't want to spend too much time on that. Let's get to the very, very interesting part, the listeners tab. Now, I totally get when this just looks a little bit overwhelming for you. What do we have here? On the left side, we have the artists that are featured on the playlist. Then we have the monthly listeners, how many days the artists have been on the playlist, the current playlist position, and the Discovered On section. The Discovered On section, in combination with the monthly listeners, is the information we are looking for. If you're not aware, the Discovered On section, let me see. Let's go to my profile. So this is my Spotify artist profile, and the Discovered On section is this one right here. And what's very important about this is that the playlists are sorted by activity. So I got my most playlist streams from this playlist, the second most from this playlist, the third most from this playlist, and so on. That is a very important fact. Now, if we correlate those two, monthly listeners and Discovered On, we can get a rough idea if the playlist is active or not. Now, Hugel has close to 9 million monthly listeners, and Piecewise Playlist is on spot 15 on his Discovered On section. So Hugel got the 15th most streams from this playlist, even though he has close to 9 million monthly listeners, which is incredibly good. Now, this might be a bit too out of this world for you. So let's go down to, someone with 1 million monthly listeners, for example. For example, Tim Olsen has over 1 million monthly listeners, and the playlist is on spot 6 on his Discovered On section. So there are only 5 better performing playlists on this artist profile, which is, again, incredibly strong. So what you want to look out for is a lot of good Discovered On positions for a lot of high streaming artists, which should give you an idea of how good this playlist is. Let me see if I can find a playlist that doesn't have quite those stats. Let's wait for this one. While we wait, I want to give you something. I do have a free Stutterhouse sample pack in the description down below. It is compiled of some of the loops of tracks I've been working on lately. And it's completely free. It's royalty free too. So you can use it in your productions, chop it up, do whatever you want with it. And all you would have to do is give me your email address so I can actually send it to you. I would love if you would download it, use it in your tracks, and I would love to hear some great productions with that. So the link is in the description down below. Thank you so much. So the analysis is done. Let's have a look at this. I haven't looked at this yet. So you can already see the clear contrast. Now you have someone with 2 million monthly listeners, Murph, good Stutterhouse tunes, by the way. And it's on his Discovered on spot 41, which isn't too bad. Let's look at another artist. So Zeli has 66,000 monthly listeners, and the playlist is his 7th best playlist on his Discovered On section, which isn't too bad either. So what you don't want to see here is, someone with 23,000 monthly listeners and the track being on Discovered On, whatever, 35 or something, because that might just not be worth your time submitting to that playlist, hunting them down on social media, writing a thoughtful email or thoughtful pitching text, and then getting on the playlist after investing, quite a bit of time without getting the results in the end. Now, one disclaimer. What this tool doesn't show you is if the playlist is actually genuine. So it doesn't show you if the playlist activity is real or not, if the streams are botted or not, if it just doesn't show you that. We could get into this in, a future video, because you can actually spot fake playlists or, get pretty close to it. But not in this one, because this one for now is done. Go ahead, analyze some playlists, submit to some playlists, take your time with it. And as always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or any video ideas, please put them down in the comment section below. One thing you have to know about me is that I'm a huge nerd about all of this. So I'm very passionate talking about this stuff. So if you leave me a comment, I will reply to it, and we will geek out there for a second, which is pretty cool. So please leave me a comment down below and go grab your free sample pack in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. Misero is out. Bye bye. Thank you.